What's up, everybody? It's your boy Clayton Filipowicz, and today we're going to be talking about the 3 female Marines that just got placed in an infantry battalion in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Now, I know this is a very touchy subject. It's a very hostile subject, so before we even get started, please, let's keep it clean in the comments section. I want to hear both sides of the argument, but let's keep it civil. Now, moving on, we're going to rewind all the way back to 2013, when I was actually filming the very first group of females to go through Infantry Training Battalion at Camp Geiger, North Carolina. The footage you're seeing right now, that is completely shot by me, and what's very interesting here is I was not allowed to film faces of the female Marines, but I was allowed to film whatever I wanted for the male Marines. And that's because at the time, it was a very hostile environment for female Marines that were trying to become infantry, or at least test for it. And the Marine Corps was testing, okay, how do females physically stack up against Marines when it comes to infantry? We're talking body composition, physical, the labor that goes into being an infantry grunt, you know? And they were very scientific about it. They did tons and tons of tests, studies, and what's interesting is, for the most part, females did not perform as well as males. And I don't think that's a very big surprise, necessarily. But when I was down there filming these guys and girls, I watched them do a combat fitness test. I watched them do hikes. I watched them do morning PT. And from what I saw was, yes, I would say 90% of the females were just not cutting it when it came to the physicality of, you know, just ITB. I mean, you're becoming a very basic infantry Marine at that point. So with that being said, the fact that the women weren't really up to par with the men at the most basic of levels was kind of shocking. But what I did find encouraging for the female side of the argument is that I would say the other 10% of the females there that were killing the runs, they were killing the ammo can lifts, they were killing morning PT, they were doing fine on the ruck marches. It kind of changed my opinion about what I thought about females joining the infantry. And here's why. Take it with a grain of salt. I am a pogue. That's fine. Right, we all have our opinions, but I was actually there and I got to witness everything going down. I think first and foremost, we should definitely admit that most females do not stack up to the men when it comes to, you know, just physically being able to become a Marine grunt. You know, they can't lift as much, they can't ruck as well. Everyone says the hip argument, which I think there's some truth there, that when you're on these long ruck marches over a given period of time, their hips start to have more problems than the males. And I've seen that happen on my own end with female Marines in my units where they had hip problems. They had hip problems and they were excluded from some PT. But for that 10% that were killing it, like these girls were PT studs, okay? I think, it is my personal opinion, that if there is one standard, not a male standard, not a female standard, if there is one standard to become an infantry Marine and a female meets that standard, then she should be able to join. Does that make sense? I mean, let's say out of 100 females, 90 of them fail. But if there's 10 that can hack it and they want to fight for their country, why not let them in? On the same token, this is another valid point. I've seen infantry Marines, especially ones that just came out of ITB, who can barely lift a 10-pound dumbbell. So, I mean, we can't go up on our high horse and say guys are like these, like, you know, these fine physical specimens, you know. But at the same time, yes, I definitely can appreciate that men are just built differently than women. I think it's going to be interesting to see where this goes, because for the past 8 years, this whole new females in infantry thing has been championed by the Obama administration. And with the Trump administration coming through, it'll be interesting to see, you know, what's going to get repealed. Are they going to just cank the program altogether? What about these 3 new infantry Marines, these 3 females that just joined? What happens to them if they repeal it? Do they get grandfathered in? How does it work? So I don't know. I mean, I want to give them a fair shake, and I want to see, you know, give them the benefit of the doubt and maybe see how this pans out. On the same token, I think that the evidence is pretty greatly stacked against the majority of female Marines. Again, my opinion is that if they can hack the standard and 100 of them fail, but even 1 can pass, then in my opinion, 1 should be able to join. That's just my opinion. I want to hear about yours. So in the comment section below, please tell me what you think. Let's keep it civil. Let's have a good discussion, and I want to hear both sides of the argument, okay? This is a pretty crazy topic, and people get very, very heated over it. So head to the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like military content, please subscribe. And also, as many of you guys know, I do a lot of video game streaming. As you can probably peep in the background there, that Battlefield 1. So I'm going to go do that right now. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.